All right, ready?
Yep.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Tim Vixay with my crippled friend, and this is episode number 35. I'm in Poplar Grove, Illinois, with the one and only Noah Currier. Hey, bro. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. Have a good holiday.
Yeah. I didn't really do anything for New Year's. I was in bed pretty early, but had a good Christmas with the family.
Yeah, I saw the big-ass Christmas tree we got in the front. It's awesome.
Yeah, that was
starting
cool.
to kind of shed.
We got that at Clark's, where we normally do 4th of July stuff.
Does he have a farm out there, or you guys just chop down a tree?
Yeah, he's got a tree farm.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a shit ton of those, like in the county where I'm from, in Oregon. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Used to go out and do like winter gigs there.
Most of the trees where we usually cut them down there are so big now that you know, like we had to find one small enough to fit in here.
Yeah.
It was small enough. It was like 13 feet.
Is that what that clocked in at?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember one year, we had just moved. It was our first Christmas in our new house, and it had vaulted ceilings, and we wanted to get the biggest Christmas tree ever. And like, I want to say I was probably in like 4th grade, and Teddy might have been in kindergarten. So Christmas was still a big deal, you know?
The hard part's getting it through the door.
Oh, yeah.
When they're that big.
And yeah, we just had a regular door. It was a split level home, so we had to get in the door, around this tight corner, and then up these stairs.
You want to know what the guys did for this one? They set it on when they pulled it out of the truck, they laid it on tarps, and then they had some cord, and they wrapped the tarp around the tree, and then they just cinched it down real tight.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it was like basically like greased up going through the door because it was one of those I don't know, the shiny plastic ones.
Yeah. We have there's a machine that'll like wire a tree like that into just small bundles. Because when they do like commercial operations, that's what they do on the shipping trucks.
We just drove towards the back of the field where we normally get them there at his family's tree farm.
Yeah. But so we got this vaulted ceiling. It's probably like a 24-foot ceiling. We ended up getting, I think it was a 20-foot tree, right?
Jeez.
Yeah, this thing was a monster. And to decorate it and shit, man, it was so cool. And we had all these presents underneath it. And Christmas morning, me and Teddy, we shared a room at the time, and I like woke him up. I was like, dude, it's Christmas morning, man. Let's go open some presents. And like we go running outside, and the fucking tree had fallen over because we only had like a 13-foot stand, and we didn't bother. Like I don't know if we couldn't afford to get another stand.
How'd you get it back up?
Oh, this thing was just falling over. We ended up picking it up and just leaning it on the wall for the time, and then we got rid of it the next day. But yeah, it was funny. Christmas morning, it was just like, we're going outside and our Christmas tree's falling over. It was like, what? Like, Mom, get up.
It was so funny. Mongo was the one that cut this one down.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just using this little saw. And it was kind of like you could see everybody else like, oh, who wants to sit there and cut through this, tree? Like, oh, Mongo was all excited, like, I got this. He grabs it. I'm not kidding you. This is not an exaggeration. I don't think that it took him 20 seconds. And everybody just was like, did that just happen that fast? Like, he grabs the saw, he gets down there, and, it's Mongo.
Yeah.
Everything goes hard.
I did that for winter one time, was just work at a Christmas tree farm and cut down. It was like a family operation. And yeah, we'd have to go out and like families would be like, hey, we want a 16-footer. And we'd be like, all right. And we'd go out there. It was kind of like being a mini lumberjack. I bought my first Carhartt jacket that season, the first time I did that. And I still have the thing.
Sometimes I wonder if all these stories of yours are true.
It really is.
No, I believe you.
Yeah,
it's just you're the most unassuming person for these jobs.
I'll show you the Carhartt jacket, man. I wore it all the way through mechanic school and the 2 years I worked at Caterpillar. It's got all sorts of welding pot marks and grease stains, but it's the most broken in Carhartt jacket, It's like, when you buy like a new Carhartt, it's like starched almost. and then you start wearing it and like you break it in. It's like
just
actual workwear.
I keep picturing you wearing a Carhartt, driving in pickup trucks, listening to country music, cutting down trees
with a fat dip in.
With a fat dip in.
Yeah, which I'm trying to stop, by the way. So it's not gonna happen soon because I'm gonna be on the road quite a bit. Just got done with that road trip actually.
How long did you space that one out from Oregon to Illinois?
7 days, 6 days, six nights, but hit all the stops I wanted to. And we spent 3 extra nights in Colorado Springs for New Year's. So it was cool.
With Mike.
Yeah. Dude, I had never been. So like, I don't really go to like parties or the bar anymore, but he had a house party and like, it was all, 30 something year olds, like people he just knows in Colorado Springs. But they're all stoners, and they brought their kids over. And like, you know how like back in the day you'd be at like a house party and you'd be like in a kitchen just pass around a bottle or something?
Yeah.
So instead of a bottle, it was a blunt. And kids are like going in the fridge, grabbing like Capri Suns and shit. And like,
but when we were going to
we're
house
just
parties
openly
back
smoking.
then, we were young. I can't picture being.
You ever went to an adult house party?
Well,
Ones we have here?
passing around the bottle.
Yeah, like a fireball.
I don't know.
I
haven't
like
seen that with kids
anytime
around.
Tony's over. It is just drinking straight from the bottle. But like, just imagine if like we had a party here, but everyone was smoking weed. It was just weird because it was like, I was like, oh, this is like 2020. It's so open. And like, I was just like, I don't know if I have kids. I don't know if I'll ever smoke in front of my kids.
Yeah.
But hey, 2020, right? Illinois is a green state now. So
Yeah,
we can actually
January 1.
We can actually start smoking when we do these podcasts if we wanted to legally, because we haven't before.
Legally, we could.
Yeah, I've only ever done it in Oregon where it's legal on my podcast.
That's smart of you. You're a smart man.
NSA's watching.
Yeah.
It's probably the only people listening to this show at this point. I'm just kidding.
One dude in a Connex box.
There's listeners out there. We love them. One of the coolest things that happened to me last year was when you gave me a shout out at the Oscar Mike Ball, and like more than 3 people cheered.
Oh yeah. What did I say about it? I remember saying something like in podcasts like My Crippled Friend.
Yeah, something like that. And I was like, hey, but you didn't even know where I was like sitting. I think you pointed in the wrong direction actually. I was like, no, I'm over here, jackass.
That's
in
like
the all white.
Babe Ruth pointing to the left and it goes to the right.
Right.
Whoops.
Yeah, man. The road was good. And then I'll be hitting the road and going down to Florida here in a couple of days. Going to go down for the Jacksonville tournament early.
Get a head start.
Yeah, some of it was just being on the road, man, listening to like podcasts and like other people's podcasts. Mac the whole time wanted to like listen to like mine and yours like episodes. I'm like, I don't want to listen to myself talk while I'm driving. Like,
Or either that or listen to classic rock, right?
Yeah, which I'm cool with, but like how many times can you listen to the Rolling Stones or
what?
You say that.
I still do.
So do I. But on a road trip, it's just like, come on.
Rolling Stones is one album or one
I
artist.
know. I listen to country when I drive, and she hates country. Dude, it was funny because like I was like, all right, I'll give you an hour, and then we listened to Pandora country, like Pandora George Strait, and I was like, and if I don't know the next song, then you can
She had
change
to
it.
have hated that.
Well, I was like, and if I don't know the next song, you can change it. And it was like 12 songs that I was like just singing out loud. I mean, it was like Brooks and Dunn and like Alan Jackson and like, old George Strait. And she finally just changed it. Like Randy Travis was coming on. And as soon as she knew I knew it, she's just like, no, I'm classic rock. I was like, fuck. Like we had a deal.
Oh, yeah. That had to have been a hell of a road trip.
It was fun. We stopped in all the good places to eat, like kind of the spots that I've like kind of scouted out and I use as like checkpoints.
That had to be so good for her too, because I know she wanted to get out and do something like that.
Yeah, I wish we had more time to do stuff, but it was like we're taking our time, but we also got to be here. And it's like, also I kind of wanted to get here for the weekend just to relax and chill. But yeah, man, it was cool. I think she really did have a good time. It was fun. She does like a thing where she like buys a shot glass and a deck of cards. In like each state she stays. I was actually gonna have her do that little map my state thing. Like how many states have I visited?
She gets a shot glass and a deck of cards.
Yeah.
The deck of cards with like the city or state name.
Yeah, like whatever. They do that. I've only ever gotten like bicycle cards. Or B. B is another brand.
That's not just bicycle.
There's bicycle and then there's B. I think they're two separate companies. Might be owned by the same
I don't know enough about cards, man.
It's probably all owned by Warren Buffett anyways. So.
Is that what it's for, the B?
Buffett and bicycle.
Yeah.
Dude, did you hear Ricky Gervais's monologue?
Jeez.
I listened to it this afternoon. It was hilarious. Everyone was talking about it.
The best part, or not the best part, but one of the funniest parts is when he makes that joke about Leonardo DiCaprio and the camera pans over to him.
Yeah.
And Leo's kind of like, yeah.
And I think he was with his mom.
Yeah.
Because I think
he looks back at her like, he's not lying.
He's like 3 hours later. He's like he went to a screening and 3 hours later.
She was too old for him.
Yeah. My favorite was when he's just like, you guys just come up here and accept your award. Thank your agent.
And your God.
Yeah. And then just move. Yeah. I like that. I was just like, he's right. And now, I don't know. As of, I don't know, like maybe an hour ago, Iran threw their counter.
I know, and I haven't been anywhere to read or watch.
I've only seen it on like Reddit, but it's they hit an air base that had U.S. troops on it, so I don't know like casualties or anything. You can look it up.
Oh yeah, I want to check this out.
But yeah, see what happened because that's not what I thought. I thought they were gonna hit an embassy or something, but what you got?
I don't know what to say about all of it.
Yeah, we don't have to get into politics. I did.
Politics.
You know, it was weird.
I mean, now we're talking about our guys getting hit in Iraq.
Yeah.
Over this, I mean, I don't know anything about it yet. I'm just looking now.
Yeah, it's what's crazy is when I was on the road, I don't get the news. Like I deleted my Facebook like back in November, and so like I've kind of detached from that. But when I was on the road, like I wasn't checking Reddit and like Instagram and stuff, and I had no idea what was going on. So I was just like, just enjoying it. And it wasn't until I got to Kansas City when I was like, wait, what the fuck? And I was talking with like Linnea, and she's like, apparently we're going to World War III. And I was like, what are you talking about? But
it sounds like it was at two different bases too.
Oh yeah. I don't think it's gonna come down to World War III. Like I think it's just gonna be. Hopefully, it's just a couple quick skirmishes, but who the fuck knows? It's kind of a weird. I keep thinking it's a fucking simulation. Like this is just the weirdest time right now.
It really is a strange time. I can't help but have this like kind of sick feeling in my stomach about it though.
Yeah.
And what it could turn into. I mean, I don't want to speculate. I hope that it's just some positioning right now, and hopefully, I mean, it doesn't have any reports. It's too early right now for.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be World War III. Like there's I mean, I know like everyone I've talked to in Europe's just like, you guys are just fucking insane. And then like at Australia's on fire right now, so they're dealing with their own shit. So
Yeah.
we'll see. China looks weird.
Yeah, before I left for work, I heard the stats that there were like millions of animals dying in this brush fire.
Yeah, supposedly koalas are like
Nick just sent over the time codes.
Nice. I'm trying to remember the term they use, but they're pretty much going to be extinct because after all this, they're not going to have a habitat. So we'll see what happens. That's weird. What's really weird is like there were fire. I was there last year around this time, or just before, like in December, and they had fires there too. I mean, so it's like California, but an entire continent country.
Right. Yeah. It's beautiful there.
I love it. I really want to go back.
Yeah, I'd like to go back there too.
You should get your scuba certification and go back.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Go out to the same spot that I went last time I was there, but able-bodied.
Would you like even remember it?
No.
Yeah.
Probably not. I mean,
unless you did a wreck.
No, I just know where we left from.
Yeah.
You know?
Was it what is it, Port Douglas, or was it actually out of Cairns?
Out of Cairns.
Yeah, you didn't have to drive up north because that's where most of the ships leave from now.
Maybe it was a little north. I don't remember, but we didn't drive far.
Yeah, I think Port Douglas is about a 20, 30-minute drive.
We could have done that. I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
It's a fun town too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kansas is fun.
Yeah. Did you go to the up in the like the national park rainforest?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And then ride the gondola down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that.
That place was awesome.
Yeah. You pass right over the tank museum. That's really cool too.
Tank museum. I remember that.
I'll show you pictures from it. I got a sticker of it on my Foot Locker, but it's like the Australian tank museum, and there's all sorts of fucking cool shit in there. They have a
I feel like I
have an
remember seeing that.
LVT-7.
I must not have gone there.
Oh yeah. They have a bunch of Nazi tanks. They got some Jap tanks that they captured. They got like an LVT from World War.
Yeah, and I was with a couple other military guys too. Like we would have all noticed a tank museum. I couldn't have gone
I'm
to
not
the same
sure
spot.
if they had a LAV or not, because that's not tracked. But they had other shit. They have half tracks, and it was cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, that's my thing now. Like when I travel, is I find like museums and shit that I like to go see. So I went to I don't know how many fucking museums. It was really interesting. Was their war museum was cool. Theirs and South Korea's was really cool. But I'd be curious to see what North Korea's looks like.
You just got to go on a drive through the country.
Yeah, right. You ever been to like an enemy state's museum?
No, I mean, we went to, the Hanging Gardens area in Babylon.
Where's that? Oh, yeah.
That's not a museum, but.
Yeah. I went to one in Havana, and they had maybe like a spy plane or some shit that they shot down, and it was like a trophy, and I was like, oh, shit. I'm on the wrong side right now. Like, we fought these guys, and they have fucking war trophies.
That is wild.
Yeah. Cambodia, but we didn't really like fight Cambodia, but they had like unexploded ordnances.
Every time I think about recent wars and stuff, how much different things would have been if it was like that show, Man in the High Castle. You know, like the
Still haven't seen it, but if they would have won or something.
Yeah, the Germans and the Japanese won.
Yeah.
And split the U.S. down, like basically at the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah. So I've been getting really balls deep into like World War I shit. And I'm listening to like Dan Carlin's podcast with World War I.
Yeah, you were telling me that.
It all started from going to the this the War Museum in Australia, because they were a country for like 5 years or something, and they got dragged into World War I with the Brits.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so they had to like assemble an army, and their history is fucking badass, man. I don't know if you get to work with any Australians overseas, but they're fucking some.
Well, we had
they're warriors, man.
Oh, what was the position? Like an Australian gunner. I
Yeah.
don't even know what rank it is. I want to say he was like a warrant officer that was with us.
Oh, gunner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think he was.
That's like a unicorn, at least in the Marines.
Yeah.
Like that rank.
Sherman was.
I thought he was just a warrant officer. Because
Oh,
a gunner is
maybe.
is an infantry like warrant officer 5. So he wears a bursting bomb insignia, and then a
Right.
warrant officer.
I'm actually forgetting what Sherman was. I don't want to misstate that.
Yeah, I know he was enlisted,
Yeah.
and then went warrant officer.
Yep.
But I don't know what level he got up to. Such a cool rank, though. I mean, I don't really have a whole lot of
Yeah,
experience.
I think there's
with
only
them,
like a handful in the Marine Corps.
yeah, it's kind of I don't know. Like, how would you describe their duties?
Well,
Or at least, okay, like what they do in the LAR community.
they get treated as an officer.
Yeah.
Like run the ranges and
RSOs and shit.
yeah.
Yeah. They're like specialists for a very specific thing.
Yeah, they're also, they I think they typically spent a while in the Marine Corps before switching over. They spent a lot of time in
Usually
the
at least
enlisted
like
ranks.
an E5.
What?
And then, like,
They're always older.
yeah, I'm saying like an E5 and then up. And then they could put in their package.
Oh, I don't know. I just know that most of the time the guys that I knew were a little bit older.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
higher ranked.
Yeah, they were usually about the same age as someone like a master sergeant or something.
I'd be retiring this year.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
Was it this year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or wait. No, I still got a little bit of time.
I thought it was next year.
Well, it'd be like June of 2020.
Yeah, so this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that. We're going to go do a retirement ceremony. I'm going to rent a parade deck somewhere.
That'd be hilarious.
Do you think you would have stayed in this long?
No.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I wasn't even re-enlisting. I was at the end of my 4 years and I'd already said no.
Yeah. You don't think they would have pulled you back for the rest of your IRR?
Oh, maybe. But I mean, my intentions were after I was done with that, going to school, because I wanted to go to school with my little brother, when he graduated high school.
Oh, that would have worked out perfect, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, if I never gotten hurt, I was actually planning on doing 8 years, because I was like, fuck this IRR shit. Let's just get it out of the way.
Yeah, I think I always just had intentions of doing one enlistment, and obviously I see how it went. But
It really would have depended if there were still wars going on.
yeah, I mean the situation could have completely changed. I mean, I remember
Things got pretty salty with Pakistan.
Well, I remember losing it when my unit was going back over to Iraq, and I was laid up in a hospital bed. So I don't know what the outcome would have actually been, but I did always kind of want to go to school with my younger brother, and go to college together.
Dang, man. I didn't want to bring this up either, but like, if you would have stayed in, you wouldn't have been home. Certain people wouldn't have been on the road. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Talking about Maureen.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't want to bring that up, man. I'm sorry.
no worries.
We got to talk a little bit about this area, and like your ties with it are just so damn deep. And like I just actually just okay. Here, example A. I just went out to lunch with Ryan Curry, and we went to RBI's. I went to go take a piss, and I'm rolling back to the table, and this dude he's like, "Hey, come here," and like I turn around, and it's a one-legged amp, and he's like, "I'm recently amputated. I was in a car accident or a bike accident over the summer." And and he's talking about, he stopped me because he wanted to ask me about my wheelchair, because he's, getting around on a prosthetic now, but he wants to get a wheelchair for at home. And he was asking me about like titanium versus aluminum, and checking out my shocks and the off-road wheels and stuff. And dude, I'm talking to this guy for fucking maybe 15 minutes. And then finally I was just like, man, I'm going to exchange numbers with you. Like, I'm actually from, Oregon. I'm just out here working with the Oscar Mike Foundation. And he said he's been out to HQ in Marengo and met your dad in Carroll. Dude's name is Sean. He's like a teacher, below the knee amp. Yeah. I don't know if he's met. Because I asked him, I was like, do you know Noah? And he's like, no, but he started name dropping like Carroll and Mark, and knows about nationals, so he's gonna come out and volunteer.
Man, I just ran into an amputee at the mall, and he goes, I didn't know, at first I was just minding my own
Wheeling
business.
or hobbling?
No, he was walking.
Hobbling.
And, well, I didn't even see him when he yelled over to me, and he said something like, "Hey, you get around pretty good in that for a quad." Because I had just come out of my van and, gone up to the mall, and he was just about to go in through the doors. So I heard him say that, and I looked over, and he's a single leg amputee, and he was walking pretty good. And I was like, yeah, you get around pretty good on that too.
Oh, there you go.
And next thing you know, we're shooting the breeze, and he's a veteran. He's local, and he's like, yeah.
What mall is around here?
There's
the Cherry Valley Mall.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I thought that thing was closed.
No, still open.
All right.
Still got a pulse.
We got to go on a prowl one day.
Go pushing around the mall.
Yeah.
No, you know what? Every year at Christmas time, I go to the mall thinking that I'm going to like buy a bunch of my family members and their presents there. Yeah. And you do like the full lap.
The hot laps.
And then you're just like, I'm not going to get them anything from here.
Well, and then it's also like, I got to, like, let's say I want to get some toys or something for kids. Like, I got to put it in my lap.
Oh, yeah.
Then I got to go out to the car each time.
Yeah, you do want to strategically pick your gifts, or like you make sure one is some sort of picture frame first. Yeah. So you got a wider platform on your lap.
Yeah. So what we do now with my cousin's kids is we just pool money together. So each family chips in like $20, and then we get the kids one big gift from the family, so they don't have like 8 different toys that they're going to play with for 10 minutes. They just get one big gift, like one nice gift.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It makes things easy, and then we designate the person each year. So it like alternates. So one year, I might do it. One year, like my mom might be in charge of it. So.
I tell you what I did with all the cousins, not this year, but the year before, or actually the entire family. But all my cousins are the ones that had the most fun with it when it all came, down to doing it. But I went to what was Gander Mountain, and then it turned into Gander Outdoors or something. But I went and I just bought like some random thing that you could use for survival. And kind of did the lap around the store.
Like a flint fire starter /
and like a water, or the straws, the
life straws.
Yeah. And I think I had a space blanket. We went pretty far too. We had a hatchet. We had throwing knives. We had, I mean,
what are you going to need throwing knives for in a survival situation?
I think there were like 22. What do you mean? Oh, so listen to this. So before anybody could start it, I had written this thing that I just read off my phone that was like, here's the scenario. You're in an airplane crash and in Australia. You're like, I forget what it was. Like, you're 250 miles from any town.
You don't need the fire starter right now.
Right. But, you know, like I just made up this whole scenario and I said, and in order to get from, you know, from point A to point B to civilization, you're going to cross this Aborigine tribe that's not going to want you to pass through.
What year is this?
I don't know. I was just making up a scenario, you know, and you can either trade, you know, and they'll help you get to where you need to go or give them something. And you know, the thing went on and on. But anyway, all the cousins had fun, like, you know, because you could also.
Wait, how old are they?
You could steal some. This was 2 years ago. We're all older.
Oh, okay.
But you had to like steal each other's stuff, you know?
Yeah. Huh. I don't know, man. Some fishing line would be kind of cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Blanket.
There had to be fishing line in there, I'm sure. As
Yeah.
one of them.
A lot of people overlook that.
Uh-huh.
It's like, that's fishing. Fishing line's handy for all sorts of things. Like, not only just getting food, which, I mean, fishing, especially where I'm from, it's like, do it with a fucking spear if you wanted to.
Right. Now I'm running through the list of things that I can remember buying for that. I definitely think there was like a fire starter.
You ever hear Andy Stumpf talking about when he gets emails and people are like, what's in your like everyday carry? Like, do you use fire starters and shit? He's like, no, I have a lighter. Like, what do I want to be out trying to fucking start a fire? Like, they already make a thing for that. It's called a Bic. He's like, I got at least one in my truck and at least one in my pocket at all times.
That's pretty funny.
It makes sense too. It's like, in what situation, like, am I really gonna need to fucking make Tinder?
Fire.
Yeah. I mean, do it like because it's cool and like that you do get kind of a warm and fuzzy. But
Well, I think what I would do is probably have a lighter and a fire starter.
yeah.
Oh,
Damn, they're early.
they are early.
We're gonna have to pause this.
All right.
Sorry about that, guys. Some ribs arrived. I've ordered from there, I think 3 times now, Bravos,
Yeah.
but 2 times has been chicken Caesar salad.
Yeah.
But I'll throw down a full rack every now and then. You almost got done with the orders.
Not quite, man.
You weren't that hungry.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Did you steal and have? You had a fry, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's not gluten, or that's gluten.
That's potatoes, dude.
Yeah, doesn't have gluten in it.
Potatoes?
Oh yeah. All right. I had a cannoli, so I mean, I'm all gluten.
Yeah.
That RBI joint I went to, that little old-fashioned diner, that's pretty cool.
That place is pretty hopping as a bar at night.
That's what I hear. I was out with like Ryan and like he just freaking knew everyone, like all the staff and
Yeah.
like every, I don't know, like third person that walked in. It's like fucking Mr. Popular.
Yeah, he knows everybody around there.
That's what, dude, like it's crazy about this town, like, cause like I thought I grew up in a small town, but like it seems like everybody knows everybody here. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, like that amp I was telling you about earlier. He's like, came out to the compound, and I was just, or not the compound, the HQ. So I was thinking, like, I gave him my number. If he reaches out to me, do you think we have a chair here for like maybe a 18 wide?
An 18?
Just for him to like hop in, and I can give him some kind of an idea what to look for in a chair. That way he can get his first chair kind of close. Cause like you just got that new chair, and this is what, your 3rd custom built chair?
Probably 4th. Yeah, I think I got
You had that white frame one.
Yeah.
The one, and then the one before this.
Yep.
So that's at least 3. Did you have one before the white frame?
Yeah.
All right. I think you've only had the white frame since I've known you.
I had a raw metal one first.
Yeah, okay. All tie lights?
Yep.
Would you say each one got better and better?
I don't know. This is definitely the first one I feel like I've ever had that fit me right.
Would you say that like you would attribute that to hanging around more quads and guys like us to give you advice and for you to see other shit that's out there?
Because I didn't even know that Ergo existed. You know,
Yeah.
there were some things on there that I wouldn't have known without knowing all you guys.
Ergo wasn't a thing till like 2008. And I remember when Vesco started doing it in their rugby chairs, and I was just like, because I used to wear my chest strap, I mean, right below my nipples.
Yeah.
But now with the Ergo, and I mean, I'm on my third rugby chair. I mean, I got shit dialed in. And this is my fourth frame, this box chair. It's a little bit different than like an average chair. It's like my hybrid between my rugby chair and my other everyday chair, but I'm way more comfortable in this chair now because I feel like I'm locked in, and like sitting on the wheel.
It's a bucket seat.
Yeah, it feels fucking nice though, man. Like when I'm on my other chair, I feel like I'm fucking riding a unicycle or something, dude. It gets tricky because like, oh, dude, I'll go to turn or something, and it's just like all the weight and the push is just off. I don't know. I see myself using this one for a while. Plus, I get compliments on it. Makes me look rugged. Can't grow a beard, so I gotta fucking have knobbies on my tires.
Oh man, I like your Hawaii and Puerto Rico though.
Oh yeah, them two little. Yeah, I haven't shaved yet. Like I haven't. You were talking about shaving. I was like, dude, I haven't shaved since I left Oregon. That was like 9 days ago. But I got these new like 2 whiskers that are growing like in the middle of my cheek, just out of the blue.
Every morning I look now and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna at least shave my neck. You know, like I'm just gonna clean it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I think about the time commitment to do it all. I'm just like, tomorrow.
Yeah, and then it's always just like tomorrow, and then
Yeah. Next thing you know.
What's the longest you've ever grown it? But for Aspen, you got a pretty good beard in that
I don't
big
know if
poster.
I've ever let it go more than like 6, 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Probably 6 tops usually.
You should see me at 6 weeks.
I have.
Yeah. There was one summer, that summer after I moved, after I left Alabama.
When you first started the mullet.
No. Remember in 2016, the first time I came out here? Like the first time I saw your house and shit, like came out to see HQ for the first time, like 2016. It took a while.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that the first time I saw your butt?
No, we've been in hotel rooms since 2012. I remember my very first one. I told you the story recently. I don't know if you want me to bring it up on the show.
Let's move right past that one.
Yeah, we can do that. But if anyone out there is listening and they want to hear the story, just ask me and I'll tell you personally because it is pretty funny. Yeah. There were some, speaking of buttholes. But yeah, man. Nah, dude, it's I came out here in 2016 and I forgot where I was going with that. But I mean, I was before the compound. It was fun. But yeah, no, okay, I get that was the summer when I had just left Alabama. Me and Teddy drove back to Oregon, dropped off our shit, and then we pretty much ended up on another cross-country road trip back to Illinois for the summer. I was just like, I'm going to go out there and hang out for a month.
Yeah.
And we brought Joe with us, Aussie Joe.
Man, that was fun.
Yeah, and he had his Freedom Week, and we fucking did all sorts of, like, American shit on 4th of July.
Oh, that was great.
Got the cops called, or not even the cops, the neighborhood security.
What was that one for?
The fireworks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and like Rockstar almost getting pepper sprayed or tased or whatever dude was saying. Like,
yeah.
Dude, like, what? You're going to tase the most gentle fucking Mastiff, like, because you're scared of a dog that's about the same size as you?
If I remember right, she was doing her job, though. She was...
Yeah, because he came out of the woods.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't show up in a squad car with lights or anything.
He just walked through the field.
He walked through a field of at least, I'd say, 200 yards.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
the fuck
I remember
you
when
do?
he just appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then what do you say if you don't calm your dog down, I'll pepper spray her?
It's either pepper spray or tase.
And I think my reaction was, I wouldn't recommend that.
Yeah. I was like, that's going to be bad news for one of us.
Right.
Yeah, that was fun, man. No, we've had some good times here. Like, I feel like Poplar Grove has become kind of my, like, Midwest home.
Yeah.
You know, and I always think about, like, how other people, like, grow up around the United States, and, like, we didn't have, like, winters. So, like, I imagine your childhood was a lot like that 70s show.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's just like a lot of just hanging around like basements and shit. And
In
like,
the wintertime?
Yeah, because like what the fuck else are you going to do?
Yeah. It was a lot of basement time.
Yeah.
Mostly at Aaron's.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, you told me some stories about like...
His parents let him get away with a lot, let's just say.
Yeah.
So everybody wanted to go over to Aaron's house.
You were telling me about you've gone to some concerts. Like some like big bands, like before they blew up, like the Chicago area bands and
we
shit.
loved music growing up too.
Yeah.
You know, like that was, I mean, the skate parks is where it started at though.
Yeah.
You know, like going and seeing the bands at the local skate park.
What's the name of, I think it's a bowling alley?
Fireside Bowl.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
And it was like a huge
punk rock
like
venue.
punk rock thing in high school. You went down there?
Yeah.
Is that dope or what?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
and in those days, you know, like I remember when we first started off going, you always had to find like one of the kids that would give you a ride, you know, who was a couple years older.
Yeah, like
you
at
know?
least a sophomore or something.
Right.
You got to kick him a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As an 8th grader, that's a big ask, you know?
Yeah.
When you want to go to those things.
Oh, yeah.
I remember we were at the Pitt skate park and
That was like the original Uber, huh?
yeah, it was.
That's
Oh,
who
man.
probably thought of Uber. They were just,
And
they
as
were
a
always,
freshman, if you have a sophomore friend and that can give
Oh,
you a
yeah.
ride,
yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, I remember when I had a buddy, he was actually Pakistani. His name was Jafar, but no, it was Jafar, but we always called him Jafar. But he was a sophomore when we were freshmen, and he got his license, and we like celebrated because he been saving up and bought I forget what year it was, but it was one of the like S10 Blazers.
Yeah.
Or it might have just been a Blazer. Like
I had an 88 Chevy Blazer.
was that like was it still kind of like the old square body?
Yeah.
This
that
was
square.
this was like maybe I think it might have been like a 90 or a 91. But yeah, we got that shit stuck one time at the new high school because he wanted to go wheel around because some of the other guys were like wheeling around in their 4x4s and he just assumed he had a 4x4 and fucking did not have a 4x4. We got stuck.
That's weird. I know my Blazer was 4-wheel drive. I never got stuck anywhere.
Yeah.
But I did run out of gas a couple times.
Dude,
that was like my version of getting stuck.
was your gas gauge all fucked up?
Dude, back then, I still remember this.
Or you push it
makes
to
me
the
sound
limit.
so old, but like you go to the gas station with, I don't know, $1.50.
Yeah.
You know, put it on the counter.
What was gas when you started driving? It was did you still have 99-cent gas?
Oh, for a little while, it was way cheaper than that.
Yeah.
It dropped down to like 70 cents for a
I
little
think the
while.
lowest I'd ever seen it was at an Arco station down the road from my grandparents' house, and it was 99 cents.
Yeah, we got well under $1 for a little while.
Yeah.
And I want to say that
It floated. I mean, in Portland, it floated at like I think it was like 115 for the longest time, and then it was like, oh shit, it's almost $2 now. Like gas is almost $2.
And then I
it's like-
remember having my truck out, like my Dodge out in California. You know, the
Oh,
thing
it's
that got like 11 miles of the gallon.
Yeah,
And
and it
gas
hit, like,
prices
$4.
went up. Yeah, it went up to $4.
Yeah, I seen it at $4.99 before, and I was just like, that.
the end of the
like,
world.
I would have to run my credit card at least 3 times to fill up my diesel, you know, because if it maxes out, like I probably get a call from the bank, like, hey, is your credit card still on? Because like you're getting charged. Because like, dude, I didn't know this until I moved to the South. I used to go to this gas station down the road from my house, and every now and then you would see a bunch of young people pull up in like maybe 4 or 5 different cars, and you would see one person running to all the pumps, running a credit card because they had just jacked a credit card, and they were filling up all their vehicles before the card got canceled.
Wow.
Yeah, man, I didn't know that shit existed until I moved to fucking Birmingham. I was just like, oh shit, like that's pretty gangster.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I never seen that shit in LA.
I knew a bunch of kids that would do that. I think they used to call it like just gas and goes. You know, like they'd pull up to the pump, and there was some like trick to it where, you know, with the handles, you do like a $1.50 or something, pay for it, or go inside and pay for it.
Yeah.
Come back out, fill up the rest, and then drive off. So you know, like they would go inside and pay for something, but then fill up their tank.
Yeah, that's crazy. I guess you didn't have that problem in Oregon because we got full service gas.
Oh yeah.
So like I mean, I knew how to pump gas, but like I never have to, and that's like one of the coolest things about being in a wheelchair in Oregon is you don't have to fucking worry about gas. Because like today I timed it where I'm like, hey Curry, like I'll drive if you pump, and then I was like, fuck, I need to get DEF too.
Was he out there for an hour?
No, I mean he splashed himself with the DEF a little bit, but like it's fucking Chevy, man. They put that shit underneath the hood, and it's like the filler for it, and you know you're trying to handle a fucking 2.5 gallon jug of hog piss essentially. Like yeah, he got it on his hand. It's all over my truck. He got some on his like sweater and his little flip flops. I was just like, damn man, I'm sorry, dude. Like, but yeah, man. No, we didn't like the only thing that we ever did like that in Oregon was like just doing like random beer runs, and we would go, you know, like just beer run some stores.
Yeah. Beer runs were a popular thing.
Yeah. Around here, you guys would go do that grocery store right across the street?
Yeah, and there was one that we would go to. Well, the grocery store across the street didn't used to be there. That's not that old.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Maybe.
So you guys were going into town? Because I feel like everybody knows everyone. So like
Belvedere and Roscoe or Rockton.
Yeah.
There were grocery stores in each of those towns where you knew you could get away with it. Or you knew the kid that worked there.
And yeah, I figured that was the way it was going to go.
Set him out back.
Yeah.
You know, one of those.
Because we did that a couple of times where like some of the upperclassmen had graduated. They started working at like the plaid pantries and shit, which are like convenience stores, like 7-Elevens. So they all got jobs at like as cashiers, and they'd always get the bitch shift, which was like the night shift, because these stores are 24/7.
Yeah.
And we would just go in there at like 11:30, and like we would show him an ID, and then he'd plug in the wrong date, year, and then we would just walk out and buy beer. We only did that a couple times because then I got my fake ID.
Oh man, my fake ID was so bad. Well, it was just somebody else's ID.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, I don't know, 6'4", blonde hair, blue eyes. And
6'4".
Yeah. So every time I go in, you know, and use it, I'd be so nervous. I'm like, they're gonna notice. I don't even have blue eyes. Like I only have blonde hair. There's no way this is gonna work. And it worked for like a charm for a long time. I don't know how.
Did you ever go to and get like a rapport at the same store? Try to hit the same like cashier?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So mine, this is way past the statutes of limitations, but this was way back. I went to a couple towns over. I drove like an hour south and went to this farm town in the middle of Oregon, and it's known there's a lot of Mexicans there like working in the farms. And we went into this thrift store and got our photos taken in the back, and we gave this lady, I think it was like $200, and she said to go down to the pizza joint and wait for an hour. And so we did. And mind you, I'm with one of my Mexican friends and like two other chicks because we're all getting our fakes at the same time. And my Mexican friend, he's the hookup because this whole transaction is happening in Spanish. I have no idea what the fuck's going on. So I'm hearing it in third person. So they're speaking in Spanish. Then he's telling everyone that we need to give him, you know, $200. And
Sure.
we end up at a pizza joint, and an hour later, dude fucking rolls up. My buddy rolls out. He comes back with an envelope, and it's our IDs. and I had given him, they were California IDs, and I had given him my real dad's address in Fresno.
Yeah.
So I had a legit California ID with my picture.
Wow.
Yeah, man. It worked good. It's somewhere in the Rose Garden right now because I got it taken away at the George Strait concert. First time I saw George Strait, I didn't get to see George Strait. I went straight to the drunk tank. And Taylor Swift opened for him, and I didn't get to see her either. And suppose she was walking, this was 2006, so she wasn't even like a mega star yet. She was still country.
Yeah.
And she walked around the Rose Garden and got pictures with everyone, and like all my buddies got early pictures with Taylor Swift.
That's pretty cool.
I'm sitting in the drunk tank fucking because we decided to drink some Jack Daniels before. Couldn't make it in. I got way too shit-housed. It was the first time I saw George Strait too. And this was back in the day when you had to wait in line for tickets. So I'm waiting in line in January in Portland for these fucking tickets, like at like 3 a.m. I remember because I went, I had my fake ID. So I went to a couple of bars downtown, and bars close at 2:30. And I was like, I'm just going to go hit up a food cart, and then I'm going to go to the Rose Garden and buy some tickets.
Yeah.
And it worked out perfect. And I was like the second one or third one in line with me and my buddy, and we were just eating fucking street food and just waiting to buy tickets to see George Strait before you fucking just buy shit online now.
Yeah, that's wild. Just to think of the difference of even the ticket purchasing process.
Yeah.
Sitting outside of the box office all night.
Yeah. Did you ever go to like Disneyland or Six Flags or any of those parks? You remember like just waiting in line for like 2-3 hours
for a ride?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you remember what the longest you had to wait for a ride was?
There was one year they came out with some ride like the Viper. It was an all wooden roller coaster. That was
at like a Six Flags.
Yeah, more gnarly than all the other ones.
Would you say like 3 hours?
Probably between 2 and 3, I would imagine.
But you remember like the conversations and like how you would keep yourself busy?
Oh yeah.
And just like checking out girls or just spying on dudes and being like, oh, I could take him. Or
remember, that's like how you would meet a girl back then.
Oh yeah.
Like
you would pass in line.
Yeah.
And then
after you
then
pass
you would
8
miss,
times,
and then you'd come back and you'd be like, hey, what's
and
up?
If she was, so like let's say she was before you and her ride was over first. If she found a reason to hang out
in that
at the
area,
exit, you know?
And she was always wearing a pink spaghetti strap shirt, right?
Always. Every time.
Yeah.
That was the one.
So you knew fucking Shelby. Thought she was just an Oregon thing.
She just waits at the end of the rides at roller coasters.
Dude, I didn't get to go to the county fair this year.
Oh yeah.
That's a good time.
Yeah.
Like when we get out there, we're like last time.
You always pay for it the next day though.
Yeah. You remember that? I was on my way to go fishing with a buddy up in Wisconsin, and I made it to Milwaukee and turned around. I was like, I'm coming back.
Oh man, I'm not gonna make it.
Because all we did was we bought our tickets, we took a hard right, and just went through the food.
Baked potato tent.
We went to the baked potato tent, and then we just did a big loop around the thing. We got reined in for an hour.
Turkey legs and shish kebabs,
corn dogs, corn on the cob twice.
Yeah.
What was that? Not the pork chop on a stick, but but there was another one too. It was just like beef or like steak on a stick. That was pretty good. It was just chunks of beef. The ice cream. The ice cream was good.
Yeah. Oh, the Mary Milk.
I want to say
ice cream.
I had to have had a churro. Either a churro, something with cinnamon.
Boone County Fair.
Something with cinnamon. Dude, there was Mexican food there, wasn't there?
No.
You guys don't have Mexicans?
I mean,
they're
here.
We
have Mexicans, but there was no Mexican food at the Boone County Fair.
There really wasn't a taco stand or burrito?
No.
Oh, man. You got to try to get out to the Fresno County Fair sometime.
Yeah. Well, and I'm a fan of burritos.
If you really want to pay for it the next day. Yeah. Imagine all that food, but Mexican.
I don't know, man. I think they're both probably an SYP.
You guys don't have fucking Mexican food here.
Yeah, we do.
You don't.
We do.
Don't even count Arturo's.
We only have one restaurant in town, and it's a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, but it's
one restaurant.
You can't.
Arturo is Mexican as it gets.
You can't compare Arturo's to that shit we had in Houston.
Which one?
At the hotel. Remember the first day we were like, let's go eat?
Oh, man. That was next level.
Yeah. And you still haven't been to the Red Iguana in Salt Lake?
No.
With the mole? Or we didn't get to go to Lindo Michoacan in Vegas?
But I had the
Beatos.
In
San Antonio's, the empanadas. I still have that shirt, by the way.
Nice.
It's kind of my just lounge around the house, or if I'm gonna go get.
I didn't know if you'd ever wear it, but
no, man, it's like my don't give a fuck work shirt. Like if I'm gonna go work on the Gambler or something, or if I know I'm gonna be getting dirty.
I had to trade him. I think.
What?
I had to trade him.
Oh yeah.
Beto.
For a
guy?
shirt because his name was Oscar or something like that.
Yeah, Oscar. That's right.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. That's insane, dude.
I told him I would give him my Oscar Mike shirt if he gave me a Beto shirt.
Yeah.
And I was like, my buddy's really going to want it, man. He's the one that told me to come here.
Dude.
He thought it was cool that you told me to come and you were from Oregon, and you were there. And then I came from Illinois.
Yeah, I didn't get to meet him. Did you get to park in the back and see the stage and shit?
Yeah.
They have it's like a little outdoor. I fucking love Texas, man.
Yeah, with those
in
cool
the summertime
lights back there.
Well, just like even
cool.
like Austin, in my opinion, is a little bit overrated, but there are some chill spots that aren't on 6th Street. None of these spots are on 6th Street. 6th Street's fucking dead. But like the chill spot, it's not my scene no more.
I haven't been there in a long time.
But like I like the areas where it's just like just outdoors. There might be a couple picnic tables, and there's always a live band. And like you buy your beer from a fucking almost like a New York hot dog stand.
Yeah.
You just buy your beer from a fucking cart like that, and like it's just a chill vibe. Music's not too loud, so you can still have a conversation. Like it's like there's less bros and seems like there's more country music fans. Like not just the Luke Bryan, Jason Aldean, like the poppy bubblegum country shit, but like the actual, like Steve Earle. Or, Texas has its own fucking genre, when you get into like Randy Rogers and Casey Donahue and like Eli Young Band and those guys. But I like the old shit, man. Like, it's really not quite like just fucking driving, listening to like some Waylon Jennings or anything written by like Chris Christopherson. Yeah. Johnny Cash, that's like your go-to karaoke song.
Yeah.
But like you can sing it, and people are going to sing along, and it's not that hard.
Yeah, and the one that I usually do, I feel like everybody has fun with.
Boy Named Sue.
Yeah.
That's your go-to.
It's my favorite one.
Do you have another one that you do?
Well, Johnny Cash, I
like if we did, because we haven't gone out karaoke in a while. Some of the best times we've had were karaokeing.
Yeah. Agreed. Karaoke.
Portland?
What?
In Portland?
No, I was going to say, it was
downstairs.
At the wheelchair games.
Y'all did it in Philly. I missed out.
Oh, my God, that was so fun.
Yeah, the timing was off, and I think we went to Chinatown. I ate way too much food. Yeah. We found another, my mom found this joint on the Food Network, and it was some noodle house where they hand toss their own noodles. It was ridiculously good. And was Teddy there? I don't think he was in Philly. He stopped going. I think he stopped going in Virginia.
Is that where we brought the homeless guy into the bar?
Virginia? No, that was definitely Philly.
I don't remember.
You talking about Fat Albert? Or my name is no. My name is Albert, but I ain't fat though.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That bartender was so pissed at you for doing that.
I know.
Have you done that since?
No.
Oh man, if you want to do it in Portland, there's so many homeless.
It was a great time though. We had a great time.
Oh yeah, it didn't get out of control.
No.
I just felt bad because it was
I felt a little sketchy after the fact, like thinking I was just drinking out of that guy's bottle last night.
Yeah, you herpes riddled motherfucker.
You're like, just like, hey man, what are you doing?
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. It's like the way I look at it. Like, you're so unprofessional.
Ryan Curry.
Don't pick up, dude. We're busy. But what the fuck? Oh, talking about so like, let's say we spent like $50 on drinks for just Albert. Like, if we would have just given him $50, like he could have
done the exact same thing.
Yeah, done the exact same thing, but also, you know, maybe gotten a haircut, like brushed his teeth, like buy a nice meal somewhere. But it's like, at one point, like, when do your priorities just become just like, hey, fuck it, I'm homeless and I'm just gonna get shithoused, and if I freeze to death tonight, then
well, they wouldn't let him in that place, remember?
Yeah.
So
and you're like, he's with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he was obviously homeless.
Yes.
He was gonna be sleeping somewhere on the street.
Yes.
And
everything about him said, I'm not let into establishments.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he didn't really stink, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's his decision to do it and whatever. Like, I'm not going to ever do that again. I do have it on my bucket list. I want to take a homeless guy and clean him up and take him to a steak dinner one time. But I have no idea how I'm going to set that up.
Pretty Woman?
Kind of, but without the sex. But yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be cool, especially if he was like a veteran and like we could like, I don't know, swap stories, shit. Like it'd just be cool, and just to hear how like, I don't know, other people live, you know, and like how he ended up in that predicament. And, cause it's like you ever, I don't know. I mean, you volunteered in like those environments before, yeah, and like the circumstances of everything's okay one day, and then all of a sudden something happens, like a car accident, and it snowballs into this, or you get fired from this.
They're unbelievable stories of how it starts.
Or the worst is like when you get into like abuse and shit, and it's like, that's like, you know, they left an abusive relationship.
He had some sort of accident, and the medical bills, you know, like there's all sorts of crazy, you know, like then this other thing happened, and then my mom died, and then, you know. Like,
and I couldn't afford the funeral, and she had outstanding bills, and bank foreclosed on this, and
it was the only family member, you know, that I had.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's incredible, dude.
Or how about all the veterans that came and were working for us doing the lifelines, all the homeless veterans?
I never got to meet any of them, but I heard the place was actually spick and span because they were just clean freaks.
Yeah.
Like professional janitors.
2 of them were. Yeah. The rest of them, the 2 guys that would have been like that, those guys could crank out lifelines. Yeah. But then the facility ended up saying that, you know, because everybody was requesting to get paid cash, and in the beginning when we didn't know if we were going to be doing one or, you know, thousands of them. Just like, yeah, we'll give you $2 for making this.
Were these all the DAV lifelines?
The
black and green ones?
I don't remember what big order it was when we tried that out.
Yeah.
But it ended up, you know, the facility was like, we thought this was a good idea. And we're always trying to get people employed, but at the same time, they're breaking all the rules now. And you know, they're going out drinking and they're buying stuff with, you know, it's their money. We can't tell them what they can't do, but they can't come in here after buying drugs and booze. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I thought about it a couple times. Like, how would I be as a homeless person? 'Cause like, you ever seen that? There was a recent movie with Ben Foster, and it was actually filmed in Oregon, and the Portland VA kind of makes a little appearance, but it's like he's an Iraq veteran or Afghanistan veteran, and he's just living out in the woods with his daughter.
Yeah.
And they're just completely off the grid because he's got like some mental issues. and he goes to like the VA every now and then to get pills so he can sell them for food. But then he's just out there with his daughter.
What's crazy is when these people are out there in the woods, and maybe not like this guy, but say like 10 cities. They normally, that one's by choice because they didn't want to abide by the rules of,
that's
like
what I'm saying. Yeah. And that's what he just wanted to live off the grid. And
Yep.
eventually, like the movie, spoiler alert, I don't even know the name of the movie. I saw it like on a flight, but he ends up getting caught out there, and they tried putting him in a home and finding him a job. And each time he'd last like a week or less. And he's just like, I got to get out of here. And he takes his daughter and they just skip.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It was interesting because I was just like, I don't know. I never really liked playing by like society's rules, and like doing like a 9 to 5, 40-hour work week kind of wasn't for me. So I was just like, I wanted to find like either seasonal work or unconventional work.
I don't know if a 40-hour work week is anybody's idea of happiness.
Yeah. Well, now a lot of people.
You know what you sound like right there, though?
What's that?
In Dumb and Dumber, when he's like, any luck finding
Yeah.
work? Not unless you want to work 40 hours a week.
Right. And now, dude, it's like people like Teddy's just going to become he's going to graduate with his master's in computer science. People in his field fucking work. They would love to work 40 hours. They're putting in like 60, 70, 80 on salary. It's like, dude, you're trading your fucking life energy for a little bit of money, like to do what? Things that you enjoy.
Not everybody is as fortunate as you.
But you don't have the time to fucking enjoy it. And it's like, I would have figured out a way to make money. Like, I was thinking about this couple, like, I mean, it's kind of a plan that I had for a while. And it was like, do my 8 years in the Marines and then get out and then become a wildland firefighter and just work seasonal, and then just live like out of a truck or a van
down by the river,
around the country, different river every week. But,
living in a van.
Yeah. No, it's funny because that used to be like an insult, but it was like, I always looked at it like, yeah, why not? Like, why wouldn't you just want to just go do all the things you want to do when you're young? Because like I don't know, I saw like my dad just kind of like working himself to death and never really getting to like enjoy the shit he wanted to do, and it's just like, that's not for me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thankful for my dad's sacrifices too, but he did get to spend like those uncomfortable dinners and everything else.
Well, dude, this, like this, I don't know. Yeah, go ahead. But no, like I never thought I'd be in this position at all. Cause like growing up, it's like, it's just gonna be work. And that was all that was like pushed on me too. Was just like, you're going to go to school, you're going to go to, you're going to graduate high school, and then you're going to go to college, and then you're going to, get a business degree, and then you're going to go work here and work your way up to this. And it was like, my career fields were kind of like limited. Like growing up in an Asian household,
I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew, like, what I told my brother is, because he was 6 years younger than me.
Yeah.
Marine Corps is 4 years. I had 2 years in between, when he would graduate.
Yeah.
Or at least like 18 months. And I just wanted to be a cabana boy. Like, I wanted to go down to one of those all-inclusive resorts. I speak English.
Oh, what'd you say? A
cabana boy.
At first, I thought you said commando boy.
Like, I'll pass out towels at the fucking pool.
Yeah.
I don't even care. I just want to be down in Mexico or,
I could see that, but eventually you'd have to shave your head and go with the Jason Statham look.
Why? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it.
There's a reason you wear a hat.
I get it.
But I think
My 7 head.
I think you could pull it off, like the Jason Statham. If you just kind of buzzed it down, and then just had a little bit of stubble, you pull off that Jason Statham.
I think he's got a square jaw and like a tougher look.
Yeah, but that's what the stubbles and shit are for. Plus, I've seen pictures of you. You're all right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Them good old days.
Oh, those were the days.
Yeah, man. I never had a 6-pack. I like beer too much. And cardio not enough.
Yeah, I don't know if that was earned or gifted.
The first time I ran 3 miles was in the Marines. I dreaded running the mile in PE. And then it was like the IST.
My dad had me running, that 4.5 miles around the lake.
Yeah. I didn't have a dad growing up. Pat wasn't.
Yeah.
Me and Pat would go shoot hoops and shit, but like he had his arthritis in his hip and then eventually got a titanium hip, so we'd shoot hoops and shit, but I'd go ride my bike around.
Yeah.
I had cardio when it came to like everything else besides running. Like I could swim forever. I could snowboard all day. Like even like I think where I got a lot of my like
you were a gatherer.
My like hiking experience was from just backpack snowboarding and just packing up a snowboard up a hill to get to some kind of off limits areas. Yeah, because I never fucking went hiking. Like,
yeah,
that's kind of like, I always thought like that's what like white people do. Like my people have hiked enough. Like my mom hiked enough in her time. In 1979, my mom hiked plenty and swam. Technically making her a wetback, I guess.
Yeah, the OG.
Mama San, she misses you, man.
I miss her.
She's gonna be she'll be down in Jacksonville.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah. Looking forward to that. Some
go eat some crab cakes.
I was just gonna say they got some good seafood down there, because it's like just north of like it's like in Florida, the more north you go, the more south it gets. So Jacksonville's like, I mean, I'd put it up there with Birmingham and those like kind of hick towns. I guess I don't know, those traditional South towns. Like I don't know, I love it. I love the South. Birmingham, New Orleans, Nashville. How do you pronounce the capital of Kentucky? Is it Louisville or Louisville?
It's Louisville.
Frankfurt.
You set that one up.
Yeah, that was
by saying two different Louisvilles.
I used that on my my niece because she's learning states and capitals right now. She fucking got a kick out of it.
That is good.
I was like, go try it on your teacher next time, see if she knows.
Yeah.
So waiting for the report back on that when she's like, teacher didn't know.
That's funny because your reaction is to be like a smart ass about knowing the difference in the different Louisvilles.
Right.
And then you're like, oh yeah, the question he asked was the capital.
Kinda
but then I would have been a jerk by correcting that part of the question.
Kind of like, what do you call a black guy flying a plane?
Do I want to know?
A pilot, you racist bastard.
That's good. Did you see the new Dave Chappelle? The newest?
Oh yeah. I loved it.
Yeah.
I was actually, before we started doing this, I was watching Neil Brennan give the Mark Twain Award to Dave Chappelle.
That's like one of those things where you can laugh hysterically when you're alone, but if you're in a group of people, like more than 2 people, you have to be very careful what you laugh at there.
No.
Oh yeah.
Then you got to pick your friends in.
Oh no. Some of that stuff.
Did I ever tell you when I saw Dave Chappelle live?
People were pretty sensitive about that stuff.
Fuck them. When I saw Dave Chappelle live, it was in Birmingham on 420, the second show with my old teammate. His name's Seneca. And he's from just a little bit south of Birmingham. Like,
were we just talking about this guy?
Real dark southern black guy. Like.
Didn't I say that was a tree?
Yeah. I don't know. I never looked that up. I don't know if Seneca's a tree or not, but
Is that what the
yeah,
word was?
yeah. He was. We had dinner with him in Houston, kind of. We all went to that one Saltgrass place or whatever that was, that steakhouse or whatever that was.
Yep.
But yeah, I went to go see Dave Chappelle with him at like the small Birmingham theater, and we were like 2 rows from the stage, right by his like green room, and like when he opened the door, dude, it was like, oh yeah, he just smoked.
I brought up that Dave Chappelle special, and I had about 8 people sitting at a table because I had just seen it the night before, and I brought it up. And
what were they mad about?
Well, I think the first thing out of the gate was I just asked anybody if they had seen it, and then they all just kind of looked at me like, no, or like snotty.
Yeah,
a few of them, and like, well, why not? Well, I heard it was just making fun of the LGBTQ community the entire time. And I'm like, yeah,
not the entire time.
And I don't know if making fun of them is even the right way to word it.
It was observational.
Right. It's more of like a story about.
That's what, like, people are just, I think people are just too afraid to just, like, take a break from being woke and just have some fun.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to be all uptight. And he's not, like, dishing straight up jabs. It's just like, this is how he sees it from his perspective based off of his life experience.
Yeah.
And it just so happens to be funny.
And the way he tells a story is hilarious.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Like, that's why, like, I really have become a huge fan of comedy. Like, I kind of always respected the art of comedy.
Speaking of Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
His monologue last night.
Oh yeah, I watched the 8 minutes of it. It was good.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and it was the same kind of humor. It's just like, you invited a Brit to come on essentially an American award show. Like, of course he's going to fucking say the things he's going to say. I'm surprised he didn't dish it more out at like Trump. Like, what's really weird is a lot of comedians are kind of staying away from Trump because it's already been like beat down so much, and it's such an easy target where they're just like that's not funny to us. Like, it's too easy.
Right.
It's like
it's almost like you don't have to do anything. You
just it kind of just writes itself. It's become kind of like what like fart and poop jokes used to be like in the 90s. Like, a lot of comics, they didn't want to be known as like the the shit comic guy, but now it's like some of my favorite like moments with podcasts is like when they talk about like when Joe Rogan's like on a carnivore diet and he like can't tell if it's a fart or a shit. And I heard a term recently. It was on one of his recent episodes. Have you ever heard of the term suicide bomber? Where you barely get your pants down and your seat planted and then you fire off like right away. I'd never heard that, but it's hilarious.
That is pretty good.
It's a good one. I'm gonna wrap this thing up because we're well over our time and it's late and we're tired. But I did want to ask you just one thing.
Uh-oh.
I was going through your room.
Oh, jeez.
And I found some things.
Uh-oh.
I need you to explain to me what the hell is this shirt doing in your closet? Or it wasn't even in your closet. It was just like by your computer.
Oh, somebody had given that to me, and I didn't want to be they didn't know any better. So we used it.
You got this gifted?
Yeah.
To be honest, man, I mean, it's a grunt style shirt for those that aren't seeing the video. But yeah, it's just a grunt style shirt. It's not really a bad shirt.
No. And
the material's a little weird compared to what I'm used to.
And the person that did it, like old and just didn't even know any better.
So you got to wear it at least when you see him.
No. That can't happen.
That is true. Are there certain brands that you just can't wear anymore?
No.
Like, would you wear 9 Line?
I don't have a reason why I couldn't.
But you just wouldn't wear grunt style.
But I mean, I wear as far as.
Would you wear a Wounded Warrior swag?
I mean, I never have.
One of my favorite sweaters was an Under Armour one. It was a tan one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember it. I used to wear it all the time.
It sounds familiar.
Just because the fucking sweater was great quality.
Mm-hmm.
But I threw that shit out when they got exposed with all their shit.
Yeah, and people ask me about that all the time, and I don't even know, like now that I've learned so much about the nonprofit world, and especially the bigger nonprofit organizations, they weren't doing anything different.
Yeah.
They're doing what every big charity does. And when you looked at their numbers, the CEO was making what all the rest of them were making.
But I think the big difference is like, for whatever reason, the welfare of veterans is a top priority for politicians.
And it definitely was at that time.
Yeah.
They started in 2003. It's when everybody was coming home from Iraq.
Yeah.
And Under Armour was basically just went public. So it was kind of
I remember the first time I heard about Under Armour was like in high school. And people were wearing Under Armour, and I was like, ooh, I'm going to get some of that for lacrosse. And it was fucking fabulous. And I remember kind of keeping an eye on their stocks. And like in 2005 or 6, they just fucking boomed up.
I think they IPO'd in like 2003.
Yeah.
Because they started in 96. And I want to say it was like 2003.
You could only get it at certain stores. Like, there wasn't an Under Armour store. Like, you'd have to go to, like, we didn't even have Dick's Sporting Goods. Back then, we had G.I. Joe's, which was like, I don't know. They sold, like, snowboarding shit and guns. And
definitely didn't have that store.
It was, I guess it was like a Cabela's, but with snowboarding and skiing shit. Yeah, that's where I bought my first shotgun, actually. But that's another story. Well, we'll wrap this thing up. Is there any last things you want to say?
Happy New Year, man. Glad you're here.
Yeah, dude. I'm looking forward. I'm going to be out here for the next couple months, even though I'm taking off in a couple days. But I'll be back.
I'll be back.
I'll be taking the equipment, so we'll be doing the podcast on the road. So next episode, we'll probably be filming in Florida.
All
right, y'all. That's all we got. Later.
Thanks for having me.